My name is Reed Wojcik, and my sobriety date is March 25th, 2018. So I grew up in Boise, Idaho, and my family and I moved to Oregon. And then we moved to California, and so that meant about 3 different homes in my young childhood. Just the first 4 years we moved 3 places. So I think I was really already kind of brought up as someone that already moved a lot and thought, oh, if our family moves, things get better, so that might work for me in adulthood. So when I was 19, I decided to move to Portland, Oregon. And, I also grew up in Oregon as well. But, I moved to Portland to, rediscover myself. And, I recently came out, a year prior. And Oregon's really, liberal and gay-friendly. And it's a good time. So when I went there, I didn't realize how bad my alcoholism was and my drug addiction. That wasn't when I was in recovery. That wasn't when I was practicing trying to be sober. I had been to a few meetings, but moving there at that moment wasn't a good cure for what I thought would have helped me. It probably made it worse, in the moment. So when you think moving somewhere for the sake of your mental health and for the sake of trying to change yourself, I guess, or make yourself feel more comfortable in your own skin. Because I was I got a new haircut. I was I can totally be myself. I'm not really girly, but I'm really I lean more towards the masculine side, and that's where I could just wear whatever I wanted, dress how I wanted, and do my hair, and I thought that was going to be all I needed, but it wasn't. And Portland didn't have the other things that I needed. About 2 years later, I was suffering really bad, and I was alone, and my drinking wasn't young people drinking. It was drinking alone in your apartment, wanting to die every day. My mom and my uncle said, taking you to Boise, and that's going to fix everything. And I was no, it's not. I was unmedicated as well and very mentally ill and just not doing well. So there was a lot of things going on just besides addiction. So I was no, that's not going to happen. And I went to Idaho, and I was really, really angry because it wasn't my choice. And I think this is where the question is really interesting, because it's not if one is choosing to go somewhere else for the sake of their addiction. It's if the geographical cure is actually a thing. And that's what my uncle and my mom were basically trying to do. So I went there, and I stayed clean and sober for 2 months, and then I relapsed. And then I've been sober ever since. Idaho basically showed me what I really did need, connection. Idaho isn't super, super open with the LGBTQ, etc. community, but there's little tiny groups in there that do accept it, and that was me needing deep connection and a space where everyone felt welcomed. I found my little niche of a sober active community called the Phoenix. Looking up different states that have sober active communities, looking up, what kind of if you're LGBTQ or you're an ally, see kind of what their laws are there, or, do your research. I would have never thought in a million years that I would be living in Boise, Idaho. I thought terrible things about that place. And it saved my life. I mean, I needed grounding. I needed to realize that it doesn't necessarily depend on what type of place you're in. It really depends on like the quality of the place. Like people that live in Los Angeles, I mean, everyone views that place as very special and glamorous. I live there too. It skyrocketed my addiction as well. And it isn't about necessarily where you live, but it's the people you surround yourself with. So saying that I'm clean and sober from all substances doesn't mean that you have to be. It's definitely very much your choice. Although I highly do recommend full sobriety because that made me more aware of my surroundings and how much gratitude I really did have for that small little city that I was born in. But my suggestion would be making sure that you have people there that you know beforehand. I knew my family. Even though I wasn't super fond of them, I still had them there. Even though they weren't supportive with my sexuality or my addiction. What are your intentions for moving to the new place? Is it to change yourself? Is it to help yourself? Is it to be closer to family? Is it to, what is it? And whatever it is, I would journal about it, meditate about it, really think on how it's going to better your life overall. But for me, I would definitely recommend somewhere where there's a deeper level of connection to start that foundation and to grow it.